When you've spent a few minutes scrolling through budget-friendly label printers, you quickly learn that the cheapest you can find often ends up being the one that jams on the first job, wipes out the ink ribbon after a handful of prints, or simply refuses to talk to your network. I've seen small shop owners swear off thermal printers after a bad experience, only to waste even more time and money hunting for a replacement. That's why I wanted to pause and ask, does the Zebra ZT411 feel like a smarter buy? Or is it just another pricey promise that will leave you reaching for the return label? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a solid morning setting up the ZT411 in a mid-size warehouse that prints shipping labels, compliance tags, and short-run inventory stickers. The goal was to see if the hype around its enterprise quality and unbeatable performance actually translates into a day-to-day workflow that doesn't require a PhD in printer engineering. First off, the ZT411's dual thermal capability is the headline that separates it from the cheap single thermal models you see on discount sites. Dual thermal means you can run either direct thermal, no ribbon, 4 short-lived barcodes, or thermal transfer, with a ribbon, 4 labels that need to survive heat, moisture, or chemical exposure. In the warehouse I visited, the shipping department uses direct thermal for carrier labels that leave the building within a day, while the quality control team prints durable safety tags that need to stay legible for months. Swapping between the two modes is just a matter of loading a different ribbon and changing the media settings in the driver. No firmware updates, no extra software. That flexibility is the kind of practical benefit that cheap 4-inch printers don't give you. They lock you into one mode and force you to keep 2 separate machines on the floor. Connectivity is another area where the ZT411 tries to earn its price. It ships with serial, USB, Ethernet, and Bluetooth all built in. In a real-world scenario, I plugged the USB into a Windows POS system, configured the Ethernet port to talk to the warehouse's central label server, and even paired a handheld Bluetooth device for on-the-spot printing from a forklift. The setup wizard was straightforward enough that a junior IT tech could finish it in under 10 minutes, which backs up the easy usage claim. The only hiccup I noticed was that the Ethernet configuration interface is a tiny web page that looks like it was designed for a 2005 browser, so you'll need to be patient if you're not comfortable with older UI quirks. Now, let's talk about the actual print quality. The 300 dpi resolution on a 4-inch print width isn't groundbreaking, but it's more than enough for most barcode, QR code, and text labels you'll generate in a logistics environment. The first batch of 100 shipping labels came out crisp, with clean barcodes that scanned on every carrier's handheld scanner on the first try. When I switched to thermal transfer with a matte white ribbon for the durability tags, the contrast stayed sharp even after the labels were run through a heat sealer. That reliability is what the unbeatable performance tagline hints at, but it's really just consistent ink transfer and a print head that doesn't overheat after long runs. One practical strength that often gets glossed over in marketing copy is the ribbon and media waste reduction. The ZT411's ribbon sensor detects when you're running low and pauses the job automatically, preventing you from printing half-finished labels that you'd have to discard later. In a test where I deliberately ran the printer past the end of a ribbon roll, it stopped, gave a clear error message, and let me load a new roll without having to restart the entire print job. That saves not only paper, but also the time you'd spend reprinting failed batches, a small thing that adds up in a high-volume setting. On the downside, the ZT411 isn't a pocket-friendly device. Its 4-inch print width is perfect for most label sizes you'll encounter in a warehouse, but if you need larger formats, think 6-inch safety signs or wide product tags, you'll have to look elsewhere. The machine also carries a weight that makes it more of a stationary piece. It's not something you'll comfortably mount on a mobile cart without a solid bracket. The price point reflects these enterprise-grade features, so it's not the first choice for a hobbyist or a small home office that prints a few dozen tags a month. Who should buy this? If you run a medium to large operation that prints a mix of short-lived and long-lasting labels, needs reliable network printing, and can't afford the downtime caused by frequent jams or ribbon mismatches, the ZT411 is a solid candidate. It shines in environments where the printer is part of an integrated workflow. Think ERP-driven label generation, automated dispatch stations, or quality control loops that require on-demand printing. The ability to switch between direct thermal and thermal transfer without swapping hardware also means you can consolidate two machines into one footprint, which saves floor space. Who should skip it?